We can move on. We want to talk a little bit about the Wu-Tang saga. You know what I mean? I didn't get to watch.
Woo.
Yes, sir. Wu-Tang. I didn't get to watch today's episode. They just dropped a new one today.
Yeah, I need to watch.
I did watch last week's episode. You know, the last couple episodes were about like them being on tour and going on their first major tour, and the Wu Wear logo and kind of coming up with the clothing brand. That was dope. You know how they did that, how they had their own storefront with Wu Wear. And then during the tour, Ugard finds out that his son had got shot, and so he leaves in the middle of the tour and kind of goes back to New York because he's like, I want to find the dude and, you know what I mean, handle that business. So that was kind of, I get it, man. I feel you, because at that point, when you know your son been shot, I mean, you like, something got to happen. I need, especially if you from the streets, you from the hood, you got that mentality, I'd have been mad too.
Man, the fact that he was on that phone,
right,
and he heard his son talk, and the guy was right there.
Yeah, that was the only thing that saved that dude, man. I'm pretty sure, because once he heard his son, that you could tell that just kind of melted his heart. Like, okay, my son is good. Let me leave this shit alone. And so, I'm glad that, things worked out the way they did. But, it's really good, man. They're doing so good with the show, and I'm glad that they're, making this last season a great season. I'm sure they're going to be focusing a little more on Ray and Ghost on today's episode, because they're supposed to be working on the Only Built for Cuban Links album, so.
Bushing. Damn!
Excuse me.
Go against Biggie, baby.
Yeah, and they kind of came on. They kind of introduced that thing with the Biggie joint. So they was excuse me.
One more though. You got.
It's probably gonna be another one coming, because my allergies get to acting up. So y'all forgive me.
No, that's all good, but, man. Them flowers out here since the weather been crazy. Skeeting everywhere.
I'm telling you, man.
It's popping off. You're freaky out here. Let's get this pollen and shit out of here.
Pollinating like a motherfucker.
Yeah, they pollinate like a motherfucker.
But yeah, so it was a well-known issue where on Only Built for Cuban Links, Ghostface, kind of threw a shot out at Bad Boy. Not a shout out, a shot at Bad Boy, because they felt like, they was biting Biggie's album cover. I mean, Nas's album cover, because Biggie had the baby picture on the album, and Nas had the picture of him as a young one.
Yeah, and 9 years old.
Yeah, and they kind of threw a shot at Bad Boy for that. So basically, in the show, Ghost and Ray are standing outside. I think it was outside the Wu Wear store.
Yeah,
and one of their girlfriends drives up, and she's bumping the Biggie. You know what I mean? What was it? One More Chance?
Yeah, I think it was One More Chance.
The remix, I think. But so they kind of like, what the fuck? And next thing you know, they see other cars coming by bumping the same thing on the radio, and they're like, what the fuck? This nigga taking over the game. So they kind of showing you how they were getting a little jealous or whatever. And he asked the girl, why you bumping that shit? You know what I mean? And, she didn't try to, stop. He was like, you supposed to be playing number Wu-Tang.
She was like, nah.
This is the shit, though.
She said, nah. She was like, yeah. She said, in the house.
Right.
But I can't be listening to that all the time.
Right.
And I don't, and honestly, truth be told, when Raycon was with the white girls, they were telling him, like, listen, y'all might be dope. But, like, when they played that OC joint, which that's a classic.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, she said, look, this is your competition. You got to study them, too. Pac, just to bring Pac in.
Yeah.
But Pac actually said that, man. Like, look, you gotta listen to everybody.
Yeah.
Go study everybody, listen to them, bring your own shit to it.
Right.
But listen to everybody. Listen, see what they doing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Pac was about that, man.
And I think that's probably what gave them the inspiration for the Ice Cream song, you know what I mean? To cater a little bit more to the ladies, and that worked out. It didn't make them come off as too soft or anything like that, you know what I mean? It was just, we want to address a different topic now. These are the kind of females we like. The butter pecan Ricans, the chocolate deluxe, caramel sundae, what I mean? So that was my joint right there. Everything about that song was dope. The beat, the rhymes, all of that, the hook. So yeah, man, y'all need to go check out the Wu-Tang American Saga, man. That's a dope series. If you haven't watched it, start from the beginning, season 1. And come up to the end where we at now.
I would actually like to say this too. What do you think if they were able to get all that aside, would like the Wu and Biggie been able to like cut? I mean, they eventually did some collabs.
Yeah.
But like specifically like Ghost and
Ray. Absolutely. I definitely feel that.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Because I think that would have been crazy, man.
What?
That'd been crazy.
Shit.
Yeah, that'd been like some mafioso boss, like
hell yeah,
fucking like crazy shit.
Yeah, because I mean, we did of course on Biggie's first album we got Meth and Biggie, which was a dope combination.
Yeah.
So if they would have allowed it to go further, we would have got even better joints. You know what I mean? So I would have definitely loved to hear something with Biggie and Ray and Ghost, on that mafioso joint.
Yeah.
I would have loved to hear Biggie with Inspector Deck with the crazy bars. You know what I mean? So yeah, that would have been dope, man.
Yeah.
It's one of those things. I kind of think about stuff like that a lot, man. Be like, man, what if this would have happened? You know what I mean? But and they kind of resolved the issue. And Bad Boy eventually did do more stuff. They put Ghostface on that Special Delivery remix, which was dope. So it's like, imagine if Biggie was still able to get on something like that. You know what I mean? Man, that would have been crazy. So, and speaking of Bad Boy, I gotta still watch the Black Rob documentary on Tubi.
Yeah.
I keep forgetting to go and check that out. So, yeah, we're gonna talk about that too, because I gotta check that out. Because I got Tubi, I just need to go check it out.
Yeah. Oh, real quick, too, before we get to the last topic.
Okay.
I want to talk about Creed 3 a little bit.
Yeah,
I definitely see it. My only disappointment in the movie is that they didn't have Sylvester Stallone in it.
I heard that. I was like, what's the deal with that? Why would you not have him in the movie?
I think he wanted more money.
Oh, okay.
And the thing of it is like, well, sir, you're not really the main character.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But I mean, I understand that was his, because it's still branching off of his franchise, legacy, The Rocky. Yeah. So I mean, I do get that. So
yeah,
but he's still not the main character.
Yeah,
and it's like, damn, man. It's like, damn, Sly, you got some problems. Bills ain't. I mean, you got. You know what I'm saying?
Money. You
got. You know what I'm saying?
Doing movies.
You doing shows. Yeah, you got the Tulsa King joint.
Yeah.
Tulsa King ain't panning out. I mean,
exactly.
Look, man. I mean, I got $5. You know right. You got $5. I can help you $5.
Do we need a cash out?
You need cash. You need cash out. Yo, we need cash out. Sly Stone.
Right. But yeah, I mean, he could have made a cameo. Maybe you didn't have to have a big part where you got to get a big paycheck, but at least make a cameo.
Well, I mean, but see, that's the thing. He was really instrumental in the first 2 movies.
Right, exactly.
Yeah,
and I'm just saying, at least show your face, just to keep your face in Hollywood. You know what I mean? And if they weren't paying enough to do a whole big scene, just be like, yeah, show me real quick, give me this little check. And I'll be on my way just to get my face in there. Yeah. I'll give you a couple of lines of advice as a young fighter, and we can call it a day. So I think that would have been good. So I did hear about that, but I wasn't sure if it was true or not, because I definitely would have been in there if I was him. I mean, Rocky was something that he built from the ground up, because he wrote the script, he shopped it around when he was real young, and nobody wanted to support it. Mm-hmm. And it took him so long to finally get somebody to support him. And when he did, it was a mega hit. And that's why he was able to do 3, 4, 5, and 6 of them shits. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I support it. I'm definitely going to still go check out Creed, because both of the actors, Michael B. and
Jonathan Majors.
Jonathan Majors, yeah.
AKA Butters with the little joints.
So I'm going to go check that out, because I like both of their work. They do good work.
Yeah, but I was going to say, too, one thing I liked about the movie was the because you know the end of you seen the boat first two, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you know the daughter, she's actually special needs as far as like her hearing.
Right.
So it's really good to see kids like what you call it, the spectrum kids. And it was actually interesting to see the dialogue.
Okay.
Like certain like when kids arguing back and forth, it was actually cool to see them sign the dialogue.
Mm-hmm.
So it was really good to see that representation. One, you got like it's a young black girl. You know what I'm saying? You got a black girl, but then this black girl is special needs. So you're kind of killing two birds with one stone.
Right.
With this person's. I mean, they could have done this with anybody, but it was still cool to see that. Yeah. To see like, okay, well, now I learn. You know what I'm saying? I teach, you know what I'm saying? I'm, because of my thing, my whole family, they speak to me with their hands.
Right.
And it was really cool. So,
that's what's
I
up,
really
man.
I really like that part.
I'm definitely going to check it out because, I mean, I like seeing stuff like that, you know what I mean, where they really incorporate that into the show and make it a important part of the dialogue. So, yeah. But, yeah, before we, close out the show, we definitely want to talk about the situation with Grandmaster Melle Mel from the Furious Five, who is one of the dopest rappers, from the early days, and he put some statements out there about people like Eminem, saying that he's not the greatest, but he's only considered the greatest because he's white, and so. A lot of people have been a little stirred up and stuff like that. And I see where he's coming from.
I agree.
Yeah, I mean, Eminem is one of the top lyricists in the game. Definitely. No question about that. But he gets a more of a push up the ladder because of his being white. And Melle Mel's gotten flack about saying that, but he's like, Eminem even addressed it himself. And I saw the whole thing where if you go to Melle Mel's podcast, he actually got his own podcast now. It's called Melle Mel's Hip Hop Corner, I think.
Okay.
And it just started recently. And so he addressed it on there. And he was like, he played a clip where Eminem was rapping. And he was like, if I was black, I would have sold half of what I sold. And so he's like, Eminem even admits that he's getting a lot of leverage because of being white. So he like, what are y'all calling me racist for? Like, like I disrespected him. So I get it. I don't have no problem with what he said. You know what I mean? Now, he did come off a little brash. You know what I mean? A lot of people, people like him, they just talk that way. They just like, they don't try to filter their conversation. They just say whatever comes to their mind. You know what I mean? So like, if you talking to somebody, you're like, damn, nigga, get that booger out your nose or something. Some people might be like, oh, you didn't have to say it like that. He's like, well, I noticed it, so I called it out. You know what I mean?
You got to get that.
Right. So, what did you think about his comments?
Well, like I said, I don't really think he was out of place. I mean,
right.
Shout out to R.A. the Rugged Man.
Rugged Man? Okay.
Yeah, I think he left the post saying, and I think I shared it with the page. And shout out to the page. Because, shout out to Danelle.
What, you sharing it on Facebook?
Yeah, on Facebook. Yeah, because they've kind of kept the conversation live.
Okay.
But, yeah, definitely shout out to them. But, yeah, I mean, it is what it is on that. Yeah. But, yeah, R.A., he said, like, look, Melle Mel ain't got to hold his tongue for no one. I'm just paraphrasing what he said. Like, this man actually lived and seen what this was in its purest form.
Yeah.
They said like before corporate interests, took it
right.
and made it something. So if he's saying like just because corporate interests is saying this is this, doesn't mean he has to agree with it because he's seen what
exactly.
it. Yeah.
Yep.
So and R.A. the Rugged Man is white. He's nice. I mean, see that's but see that's what going back to like Milkbone and stuff.
Yeah.
It's like how come. It just pissed me off because it's like, okay, M is nice.
Yeah.
I'll give you that. But do you really go back and say, man, I'm going to listen to Eminem?
Right. Not a whole lot.
No. But guess what? I could throw in a fucking House of Pain shit.
Yeah, House of Pain, yep.
I'll go back and throw that shit on.
We were just talking about the young black teenagers. If they play Crack the Bottle, I'd rock to that.
Because that's what I'm saying. They got the songs that they had. Yeah, they can rap. They have the skill.
Yeah.
But they got stuff that you could go back and listen to. The stuff kind of aged. Yeah. You could tell it's dated, but it aged better. Like, don't get me wrong. I mean, there's certain M shit I would listen to. Like, Remember Me, that shit, you know, because that's when he had Dre on that shit. That shit go hard. Yeah. Especially when a bad boy put that shit on. Yeah. Yo, it's a rap. But yeah, I mean, that's, you know, that's some of the stuff. Till I Collapse was definitely one of my favorite M songs.
Yeah, that's one of the rare ones that I can go back and
let me tell you something. That white man right there on that Till I Collapse.
Yeah.
Yeah, that man spin.
I will say this. Every now and then I'll go back and listen to old Eminem stuff, but typically what I go back and look for are the old freestyles.
Yeah.
When somebody just throwing a beat and he just fucking rippity raps and shit, I'm like, fuck, man. I can go back to like the freestyles he did on Tim Westwood and all of that type of shit, man. He was fucking murdering the game with that type of stuff. And so that, normally if I go back, I'm listening to shit like that. I may not go back and say, let me go back and listen to the Eminem show or you know, the Slim Shady LP. But it might be a certain song, like you said, Till I Collapse from the Marshall Mathers joint, where I'm like, okay, I ain't heard Till I Collapse in a while. Let me hear that again. You know what I mean? But for the most part, if I dig in the crates on Eminem, it's for the freestyles. Or the diss record. You know what I mean?
Yeah, the diss records.
Diss records, listen. Nobody fuck with them.
Yeah, when it comes to the diss record, especially Nail in the Coffin's my favorite.
Right.
That fucking Benzino shit.
Yeah.
I would never claim to be no Ray Benzino. An 83-year-old fake Pacino.
Man,
yo, he killed that shit.
That's right. You can try coming back all you want, but you ain't doing nothing but rapping from inside the coffin.
Yeah.
It's like, whatever your response is, all we're thinking of is you in the coffin.
Yeah, he killed that. But M, I mean, like I said, going back to the other white rappers, it's just like, I just don't understand why is the push to push him up.
Right.
And I mean, and I'm not trying to discredit, because I mean, you got other white rappers that are nice. Vinny Paz, like I saying, R.A., my man Necro.
Yeah, he one of my favorites.
Yeah, Necro is nice. You know what I'm saying? The Ill Bill, the fucking what's that group name? I was just listening to them the other day.
I forget.
But it was Ill Bill and
it's somebody else.
Nonfiction. That's the name they group. Nonfiction.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they tight. I mean, I'm not saying that they should have they have the same commercial success at Eminem. Like Eminem had like the cheat code. He had like Jimmy Iovine, Dr. Dre. I mean, come on, he really had the machine.
Yeah.
So I think that's what it is. But I think even with having that machine, going back, I mean, it was good for that time. But going back and listening to it, it's just like, Right. I mean, some, like I said, some stuff, like the Slim Shady LP, I'll go back and listen to. That was that was a pretty good one.
Yeah.
I even got Infinite. Well, I mean, this was before the Dre and all that.
Right.
Infinite was as dope.
Yeah, I've heard a little bit from Infinite, but I never actually listened to the whole thing. So.
It's a pretty good album.
Okay.
It's a pretty good album.
I'm gonna have to check that out.
It's not like groundbreaking, but I mean, for what it is, it's you could tell it's like that was a time period. You could feel like, okay, this is 96.
Right.
You can feel, you know what I'm saying? So.
Yep. Because the Slim Shady LP was either 98 or 99.
Yeah, that was 98, 99. I think.
Yeah.
And then.
So
I mean,
really blew up.
But see, and that's the thing I could give to him too. Like he was kind of like that. He was kind of like one of the last of a dying breed as far as with the lyrics and stuff.
Right.
So I give him that. You know what I'm saying? He was, he was one of the last of the real ones in that vein of, but as far as, it's just some of the stuff he talks about, it just don't You know what I'm saying? All he is just, I can out rap you. And it's like, that's cool, but you can't make a song like that all the time. You know what I'm saying? People want, and Lord Jamar, he actually made a point. Y'all, he can't be the best if y'all bypassing all the stuff that the other best did. Like, the other people were in the clubs. You don't hear him in the club like that. Even Rosenberg said that shit, and that was his fucking man.
Yeah.
Rosenberg said, nah, you don't hear him in the club like that.
Yeah, and I mean, so that's why I don't really disagree with Melle Mel, and I mean, like he said, there's a lot of rappers out there who are better than Eminem, but don't get the push that he got. I can say, Rakim, I can say Coogee Rap, Redman, all these people that M looks up to, and M even said on Till I Collapse that he's behind a lot of these artists when it comes to rapping. It goes Reggie, Jay-Z, Tupac, and Biggie, Andre from Outkast, Jada, Corrupt, Nas, and then me. You know what I mean?
That line right there, boy.
Right. He said he even said, if I'm not put on this list, this shit does not offend me. You know what I mean? So he even knows. You know what I mean? He knows he's one of the dopest, and he's up there. But he knows there's people that's better than him that who deserve to get more machine push that don't. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, ain't too many people who can fuck with a Coogee Rap. You know what I mean?
No.
And I mean, even Redman. You know what I mean? Redman had a little more of a push because he was under Def Jam, but still not as much as Eminem got. You know what I mean?
No. God, no.
So yeah, I mean, and I mean, Melle Mel did bring up a lot of people like Kendrick Lamar and Lil Wayne and stuff like that. So, it was interesting. I mean, he said that he really didn't know Kendrick's music as much. He knew a couple of joints. Now, I will say this, if you're really a hip hop head like you should be, he should be checking out people like Kendrick and with Lil Wayne, get more familiar with their catalog, because he did make some remarks about them. But I'm like, if you really don't know their music that much, you can't really make a judgment call.
I'll be honest with you, man. I was listening to, speaking of Wayne, I was listening to there's a guy I follow. He does like those little breakdowns of like a certain artist versus everybody.
Okay.
Like all the people that he had that dissed him or whatnot.
Yeah.
Or they just, back and forth. Lil Wayne has some heat. I ain't gonna lie, Wayne nice. I ain't say he's my favorite rapper,
right?
But I can't deny that man's talent. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, definitely.
Wayne nice.
He's like Lil Wayne had the what I call the Jay-Z effect on me, where when he first came out, I really just wasn't feeling it.
Yeah.
But over the years, the more he did craft his, hone his craft, I was like, yo, this dude is getting better and better. So, by the time, Jay-Z got to the Black album, that's when I was really like, okay, he actually got some bars for me. I'm not the biggest fan, but I'm starting to see it. And the same thing with Lil Wayne. By the time he got to like Carter 3, Carter 4, somewhere around there, I was like, okay, he got bars. I can't even front on this dude. You know what I mean? And so ever since then, I've been kind of giving them both a little more respect. But yeah, they both started out kind of iffy for me back in the day, because they both weren't really rapping as good as they are now. You know what I mean?
So, and I think too, the voice. I think they don't have the voice of a traditional rapper too.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You usually, you want the heavy, heavy weight.
Yeah.
Or like if it is high, it's kind of like the MC Shan, like that type. But yeah, I think it was their voice really.
Yeah. I agree with that. Definitely agree with that. That's one of the things Melle Mel actually talked about with Lil Wayne. He kind of criticized him a little bit. He was saying that Wayne calls himself one of the best MCs, but he was like, but you use auto-tune. He's like, I don't really consider you one of the best until I can know the real you. And, Wayne, I mean, he does use auto-tune a lot, but I don't think he uses it all the time. But I will say, I feel like he does use it somewhere around 60 to maybe 70% of the time. He does use auto-tune a lot, but I don't think he needs to. I think that's just I think he feels like the fans like it, so I'm gonna just do it. But he could rap without auto-tune, but I do think he should do it more often. I agree with that. But yeah, so y'all let us know what y'all think in the comments about Melle Mel and his remarks.
And I'm gonna say this too. Nobody ain't gonna see Melle Mel neither. You see this dude, man?
Yeah, dude, swole.
That dude's if there was ever a rapper that was a superhero,
right?
Fucking Melle Mel, son.
Yeah, man.
Melle Mel, son. Hold on, we get the speaker back on for this.
Yeah, definitely.
Hold on. Yeah, hold on. Let's do it again. Melle Mel. Hold on, Melle Mel. Come on now. Yeah, there we go. Melle Mel.
There we go.
There we go. Melle Mel. Hold on. Yeah, Melle Mel.
Yeah, if I had to give him a superhero title, I would call him Superman of the hip hop universe. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that dude built like a Olympian.
Yeah, man, he's worked out like that for years and years. It's not like something he just recently started doing.
That dude's always big.
Yeah, he's always been in
that dude's always been big. So
And I'm sure that's helped him to stay, with a longer lifespan because he's in his 60s.
Yeah.
And he looks like he could be in his late 40s, maybe early 50s at the latest.
Yeah, none of y'all wanted Mel.
Right.
Mel be up there. I'm gonna come up here and straight beat you. At one time with the blast.
Sir. Yes, sir, Melle Mel.
One time.
So, like he said, I agree with R.A. the Rugged Man. He ain't got nothing to prove. So, let this man say whatever's on his mind.
Facts.
So, anyway, man, don't forget, hit all the buttons. Like, share, subscribe. Like, share, subscribe. Like, share, subscribe.
Brothers and sisters.
We need funds
allocated so we can build
the school.
That's right. Damn about
institutionalized.
Actually, they said did you see pictures of it? He's actually got the school.
Nah, I haven't seen it. That's what's up. Good for him, man. We joke, but I'm glad he's doing what he's doing.
Oh yeah, man. Look, it's like this, man. We got love for our black people.
Yeah, absolutely,
it's just,
man.
You know what I'm saying? We joke and stuff, you know what I'm saying? We just a bunch of, somebody over here in the, corner of YouTube.
Right, exactly.
You know what I'm saying? We just cutting up.
Yeah, man.
If you want to cut up with us, cool.
Cut up with us,
If you don't, you want to, it's the same,
Yeah.
We just cutting up.
Anyway, man, you got anything else you want to drop before we wrap it up today?
Nah, that's it, man. Just everybody enjoy the De La Soul joint and De La Soul Day.
Yeah.
And, keep
cop some of that.
Yeah. Keep that blasting, and then tomorrow, doing the Biggie joint. So
yeah, man.
So
yeah, we're gonna share a bunch of Biggie songs and stuff like that tomorrow. On the Facebook page, just to show some love, and like I said, by the time this gets on YouTube, it'll be yesterday. So, and y'all enjoy the weekend, enjoy Biggie Day, enjoy the new De La Soul streaming services. Get out there and cop some of that music because it means a lot to the culture. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So, all right, for episode 234, it's your man Kurt, and this is
Howie,
and we'll see y'all on the next one.
Peace.